Okay, I'm gonna move on and start talking about loops. So start talking about the for loop. And in order to do this, I'm gonna create um, an editor. So if you click new script, you should be able to see the editor window here. For some of you, you might see it as it could be undocked in another screen. If that's the case, then just find the small downward pointing arrow, click on it, and then dock it back into your screen, whichever layout works for you. So for loops, a for loop has three main elements. The first one is your counter. So it will usually start with the expression for, and then a counter is usually um, a variable which counts how many times you're going to go through this loop. So for this case, I'll say for I is equal to 1 to 10, and this basically creates a loop that runs 10 times, right? And then after creating your counter line, you need to write your expressions. What do you want to calculate 10 times, whatever it is? So let's say from I equals 1 to 10, I'm gonna calculate the variable k, which is equivalent to I to the power 2. And this is usually the body or the body of the loop. And these are the iterations you want to carry out. And then finally, the last line of your loop should always be the end line. So this will create a loop which runs from 1 to 10, and in every run it will calculate the variable k, which is equal to I to the power 2. So if I run this, it will ask you to save it. So make sure you save it in a location which is easily accessible to you. So I'll call this script 1. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, saved. And then let's run it in this case. It might ask you to add the folder to the path, whatever it is, just accept. And as you can see, once I run it, it's going to run 10 times, and every time it's going to take I to the power of 2. So in the command window here, you can see the 10 iterations. First one, k equals 1, k equals 4, which is 2 squared, 3 squared, all the way to 100, which is 10 squared. Okay? So this is the idea of a for loop. This is the basic idea. Now, you could use a for loop to do any type of manipulation you want. So a typical manipulation for a for loop would be to, let's say we're creating k 10 times and I want to save all these numbers in an array. So I can create a new array, I'll call it I squared, and then in this array, I'm gonna basically put the counter here is equal to k. So what I did in this line is I created an array called I squared, and I'm using the counter to refer to the position of the element in the array, and then I'm storing the calculated value of k in this position. So this should basically create an array containing all the values of k squared in one place. So if you run it, you're going to see it here. So now I squared is equal to 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, etc., which is the values of k calculated. And this type of manipulation is very common when using loops, because when you're running a calculation multiple times, ideally you would like to save all of your results in one array or one vector so that you have them all organized in a neat way.